Yeah, U3, live from the underground.
Yo, it's your girl, DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and you tuned into U3, Underground, Unsigned, and Unknown, and we have a guest tonight, and he is not new to U3. He's been on U3 a few times. I know you heard his songs played on my show many a times. All the way from Colleen, L.Dot, L.D.O.T. However you want to
Hey,
spell it,
what's
say it.
going on? What's going on?
Man, L.Dot,
Just
L.Dot.
L.
Well, you
Can't say
originally
L period, so it's just L dot, you know?
L.Dot, period. L.Dot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about L.Dot. How'd you come up with their name?
Because my name is Leon, so I'm just Leon, period. So I didn't want to say L period, like it would
Yeah.
sound funny. You know what I mean? So I was just like L dot, so I'm just Leon. That's it. Just me.
Okay. Nah, I like that. You Leon. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
just me.
Leon. That'd be kind of cool rapper name too, though. Leon. Call me
Yeah, I
Leon.
mean, I know it's a few out there probably named Leon.
Probably is. It probably is. L.Dot is
So,
original though.
yeah,
So okay.
it's me.
You are originally from DC area,
Yes.
and now you in
Southeast, actually.
huh?
Southeast DC.
East.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And now
there's
you in
different sectors.
and now you in Killeen. How is the music scene different from up there than it is down here?
Oh, it's a just from Texas alone, it's a total different change because we have something called go-go. So it's something I love and endear. It's like real instruments and it's very fast paced and
Yeah.
here, sometimes you have to slow it down. In some cases, it's fast, but it's a lot more variety, like in Texas. So,
Yeah.
the music scene is very different, So it's something I had to get adjusted to.
Is there really a rap scene up there in DC?
Oh yeah, it's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. They're
Well,
all
yeah, the
combined.
DMV area,
So
right?
yeah, so they
Yeah.
pretty much go anywhere. Like it's spaced out. So it's a lot, but it's pretty much like I want to say like 1 to 3 sounds. Like you don't hear that many different
Yeah.
varieties like you would in Texas. Like, Texas is a melting pot. So I love
How
it.
is it representing Colleen? Because Colleen gets a bad rap sometimes. I hear
Look,
a lot of
it
especially
does.
from the music scene. It's never really positive. It's either
I mean,
like violence or like nasty sexual stuff. I ain't gonna get too detailed, but you never,
right.
I don't know, Clean never really gets a good rap.
It does, and it does hold a lot, but it's no different from when, you got a stigma on your back anyway, or a stereotype anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, you either push through it or you just fall within the cracks. So I just choose not to because of what I'm bringing, So I keep that as my momentum to push forward, to stay positive when I do this, at the end of the day, because I want to bring difference to them. I want to, I just like there's a few of us that want the change to happen.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, we actually had a guy by the name of Brian King. He actually started something I'm actually be a part of, and it's Brothers Against Community Crime. So we're actually trying to make the difference within Killeen. So it's stuff actually coming out there.
But that's good that y'all making that change and trying to have a better name for it. Cause like I said, every time I hear
Yeah,
Colleen, man, I swear it don't be some good stuff. And I'm just like, do I really want to go
it's
visit Colleen? That's all I hear. But then again, it's like you do have to, like you say, you have the good side and the bad side of every city, town, state that you go
yeah.
to. So
It's a good. I mean, and I'm glad that I've met these guys. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
they're wanting to make change. You know what I mean? Like they're very expeditious about it. So it's not like they're sitting around and waiting for one to come up with one solution and then running with it. Like everybody's putting in their input. So I really enjoy how the direction this Brothers Against Community Crimes is going. So I'm glad to be a part of that.
Colleen's a big military town too, right?
It is. So it's a lot of different cities. So
Yeah.
Kareem's just
Just like here, just like San Antonio. Yes.
right.
Y'all
Yeah.
really don't have a sound, I would say, as far as
No,
your
no, it's a melting pot,
that.
especially for
Yeah.
Kareem. So we have to space out, like, go different directions, like Austin, Waco, Dallas, San
Yeah.
Antonio. Like we have to go search because it's a melting pot. Yeah.
Now you recently decided to change your whole look, your sound. You said genre. What made you do all that? What sparked the change? Was it before COVID? Was it after COVID? During COVID?
No, it was actually before COVID. So true story. Um, Before I actually did Back to Black, I devoted myself. I said I was going to give myself a year to create uh, um, mainstream type album. So like it's full quality, like to its fullest potential. Um, so I actually wanted to study. So I took a hiatus anyway. So I stepped away from everything. Like I really didn't come out unless it was for like performing or at that time work because I stopped performing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't take too many performances or interviews and stuff. Like I just stepped back. And like I just wanted to work on me. I was like, okay, I know I can't come with the same sound. Like people are gonna get tired of that eventually. So I have to catch up with time. And so I just studied. I just started studying what was out or what was going on and what would fit me for what I was trying to say. You know, so during that, by the time I figured it out, which was the last song I recorded for the album, which was Criminal. And when I listened to it, I said, this is it. Like, this is the actual cadence or, you know what I'm saying, style that I can play with that nobody can really replicate.
Yeah.
And when that happened, that's when COVID started. So at first I was mad. Like, I was upset about it because I figured it out and I was like, I can't show nobody. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I took that as a way of, because I was already an introvert to begin with.
Yeah.
So I took that as, well, I'm already in the house. So with me being in the house, like I got to figure out how I'm going to do what I do in here to make people show it out there. And we still have to stay inside. So I just started kind of like following my lifestyle, just living without living, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So what did your fans, your followers, your family think about the change? Were they on board at first, or were they just like, nah, dude, you tripping? You tripping?
A lot of people were shocked. Like it was a big
I know
change.
your homies was like, dude.
It did have a lot of different, like, okay, hold on, what's going on, my guy? Like, what's popping?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I kept with the same energy. Like, I never changed it. I was just like, look, I'm just living. Like, I'm just living for me. You know what I mean? Like, you're either with it or you're not. And you know what I'm saying? As soon as I said it like that, it was like they felt it. Like, all right, bro, like, do what you do. You know what I mean? So then after that, they was kind of on board with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even some of my homies, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I love them to death. They're like, all right, what color you going with? Don't do no weird shit. I'm like, I'm not. I'm gonna keep it solid. You know what I mean? But they encouraged me to keep doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of during COVID and during this whole BLM, like a lot of things reflected in my past. And with me reaching out to them to like, hey, I'm trying to make this difference of where, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to live like that anymore. Like they understand it. So a lot more people has been more receptive to where I'm at. And I enjoy it. Like, it's beautiful.
You think the music industry is ready for what you want to bring? You think they can handle it? You think the rap scene can handle it? Let's specifically talk about the rap scene. Because I know other genres will welcome you. Pop, R&B, all them will welcome you. But with the rap industry, they're very picky. They're very, how they can get sometimes.
I mean, they're picky and stuff like that. But, you can't win them all. And that's I'm fine and dandy with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still always gonna have a passion for rap. I'm always gonna have a passion for hip hop and how the culture was designed. I'll never take that away. But I'm not gonna let it stop from what I'm doing. So with that being said, it's either it's gonna be accepted or I'm just gonna have to find a way to get myself in there. Because I'm not gonna stop doing it. Like, regardless. So. that's where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Like,
Do
I'm,
you
I'm
do you think this is a phase, or you feel like you're gonna keep it?
no, this is not a phase.
It's the new
And the
L.Dot.
reason being it's not a phase is I looked at my daughter. Um, it was a few months back, like it was in the midst of me actually working on Bar Life, and she was actually talking to her friends, like just randomly talking, and she was like, "Yeah, I own this company," and blah blah. Like she's explaining to him like what I have going on.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, she's already got it in her mind, like this is where she wants to go, and she's seeing that. So for me, it's not a phase. It's me transferring the power to her. So I know eventually my time is going to have to stop. I get that. That's time. You know what I'm saying? But until then, you know what I mean? Like I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's watching me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That it's actually looking at it like this is something that can change because she talks about it to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
it's something more important to me than just, you know what I'm saying, like the actual music itself. So music is helping me get through it. That's all it is.
Well, since you are a black man and you have black kids,
Mm-hmm.
how do you explain to them or talk to them what's going on in the world right now in society? Do they understand? Are they at the age where they understand what's going
My
on?
oldest, she's at the age to where she understands. So a lot of things that I do, as far as like the peaceful protest, like I don't take her out, but I let her understand, okay, this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
Um, and certain conversations, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's out in public, like if I'm talking to somebody just random, like I never shield her from that, but I just watch what I say because I don't want her to go in life hiding, you know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
not knowing what's going on in the world. Like pretty much the conversations that I have with my daughter is you have 18 years to mess up. And it's just my job to help you figure it out through life. You know what I mean? So I'm
yeah,
not shield her, but I just have to watch me at this point. So it keeps me sharp at the end of the day. I mean, but at the same time, she's not blinded from it. Like she understands what's going on, and she'll ask me questions like, "Why do we have to live like that?" I'm like, "No," you know. So it kind of helps me to change my direction anyway because we have them conversations.
okay, I like that. I like that. So, how has this quarantine been treating you? I know you say it's a new, you changed your music, your style. So, we have new music out. You said you released the album. And
I
then you
released
didn't
the
tell nobody.
album.
You just like dropped it.
No, I've been you know, kind of like I went a different direction. So I kind of not did it on the book as much. So I went with the old school feel with it. Like I knew it was coming out, COVID was coming. I started traveling. I was like, well, I know the best way to get it out is to travel. So I went old school. That was the whole purpose of going back to black. Like I had to go back into the dark. So my dark for me is going, hey, I'm at an airport, so I'm like, hey, you know, would you mind listening to this? Blah blah blah, getting them that way, and it was working. So I was actually more enthused to do it that way because it took me out of my shell of being an introvert, you know, and actually just reaching out to, you know, my potential listeners or actual active listeners.
Yeah.
So I went that route, and then once it kind of like hit, it was just like, hey, back to black this, back to black that, and then it slowly started coming in from the social media platform. So um, it actually made a lot more noise doing it that way. So I was kind of proud how I did it, but it's out there, and it's it's something I'm proud of. Like and it's not to be cocky, but it can run up there, you know, with mainstream. That's pretty much where I'm getting.
Yeah.
If anybody was to clip that, I meant that. Like it's mainstream worthy. You know what I mean? Like from start one to start 13, you know what I'm saying, to 13, like to the last ending. Like I put a lot into it. I mean, it wasn't like thrown together. I wanted it to where it balanced to where you had no choice but to listen to the whole story. I mean,
Now, you named it Back to Black. And you
yeah.
know, it just so happened that You know, it's during the time of the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff. What are your thoughts when people always say that people try to capitalize off that? Because, you know, a lot of people say that when they first came out with the shirts and the mask and everything, you know, buy my Black Lives Matter shirt, buy my mask, buy this, buy this. It's like, oh, you trying to capitalize.
You're absolutely right. But the true honest story, and I have documents to prove this, Back to Black was started 2019.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
the original cover, I have it to where it was like, I don't want to use that. Like, it was somewhere in 2020. I was like, I think I want to change it. Like, it was a whole different album cover.
See,
So,
you know that because that's your vision, your
right.
cover. But it just so happened that the timing and when it come out, people don't see it that way. People, you know what I mean? So it's weird.
What's even crazier about it is how the intro starts. Like, it was a song that me and my brother was in high school. I always call him my brother. But he did instrumentals, and I always did the rapping thing. So I let him be pretty much the first start off. The beat was amazing. It was totally fire. Savage Keys, if anybody's looking for. But you know, we exchanged information on this instrumental, and I listened to it. I said, "Oh, I gotta go hard on it because it's literally like a Meek Mill type intro. Like, you either go hard or nobody's gonna listen." So. But moving forward, the way that the intro starts is pretty much my mom saying, "I see that you survived all the chaos."
Yeah.
That was playing before all the chaos popped off. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it dropped and then all the chaos popped off, I was like, I didn't even think about it. So now I was getting a little flashback, like, you're trying to, you know, promote off Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, to be completely honest, and I even took the time out to kind of show them, like, look, I'm not, like, this was done way before.
Way before, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to capitalize off it. This was something I had it in my head, like, I'm patient because I was already on my 4th album. I didn't want to rush it. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to take my time, like old school. So, so I always show the documentation if anybody ever asks, you know, like, hey, I do have the original Back to Black cover, like, this is when it was supposed to start.
Are we gonna get some music videos for any of the music on that Back to Black?
Yes. I'm looking at Criminal. I want to actually wait until COVID kind of gets better because I want to get the kids involved.
Yeah.
And
I know it's kind of hard to do stuff with COVID. Then stop a lot of music videos, shows, performances. You miss the stage?
I miss it. Oh man, I miss touching the microphone. So like I record, but I record spaced out. You know what I'm saying? Until everything kind of clears up. So I just do a lot of my writing and stuff. But luckily, you know what I'm saying, I still got enough to keep in motion for like another year.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of recorded stuff I haven't put out yet.
Are we gonna get a virtual show from you? You know, that's the thing that's going on nowadays, or do you feel like it's oversaturated?
No. I'm actually looking into that. Shouts out to my manager, my Hayana Management Services. We just actually linked up. And she's actually going ahead and putting some things together as far as virtual shows and stuff coming in like October. So she's just wanting me to get more into the camera, which I told her is kind of like my first time trying to deal with that.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, just keep practicing. So she works with me all the time. And I'm getting better as far as like getting in front of the camera and not, you know what I'm saying, freezing up and all this other stuff. So it's gonna come to where I'm gonna do virtual shows. But if no shows come up before September, then that's the route I'm gonna go. So I'm giving myself time to do it, pretty much.
Now, you're known to be a quiet person, you know, not too much beef around you, but you know, beef is a part of hip hop. Right. I guess you could say that. Almost every mainstream artist had beef with somebody.
Right, yeah. Facts.
And you know, artists having beef with promoters are a big thing. Like, that's natural. Like, it's rare where you see artists say this promoter is the best. Like, almost every promoter an artist get in contact with is janky. Whether it's the mic, whether it's their song skipping because they know they didn't upload the right song, it's the promoter's fault. Whether they drink is messed up, I want us to rock. But I got bourbon. It's the promoter song. It's janky.
Right.
So
Facts though.
how do you feel like artists and promoters can like have a better relationship? Because that's kind of hard.
The big key, to be completely honest, is communication. Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll never step on a promoter's toes if he's
Yeah.
trying to do something to promote. I can't change nothing in that. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's like him coming into the studio and try to change what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my lane. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to learn each other's lanes. You know what I'm saying? Like if we all had this motto and stuck with it to where we can all make $1 in each lane. So while we sitting back arguing over 4 quarters in a parking lot, it can make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's all we're doing when we going back and forth with artists and promoters. Like we're arguing about dollars in one place instead of thinking of the bigger picture that can get us all in different lanes to get money. I mean, but the main thing is communication.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's it. So like everything else would come into place if we knew how to talk to each other, you know, and stop realizing that, you know what I'm saying, like nobody's job is bigger than the next person. Like everything is a cycle. It's just like checks and balances. You know what I'm saying? Like artists are going to be needed just like DJs are needed, just like promoters are needed. Like they're needed some way, shape, or form. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you can't promote silence.
And I'm happy that you mentioned that because, you know, a lot of artists are scared to have a relationship with DJs and they're scared to approach DJs because I get it. You do have a few DJs who have that mentality. You got to pay me $1,000 before I play your song. And then there's others who will just play your song. You just got to find out. You know, just got to find that right DJ. And I'm happy that you mentioned that. And it's important to have that relationship with DJs because, you know, a lot of artists, they are just like scared to approach any DJ, male, female. I get that all the time. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know you would play my music. Did you ask? Did you hit me up?" Like,
Right. I mean, even still, it's like the start of a conversation. I mean, like that goes to show like how do you talk to a female or how do females talk to a dude? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's all an approach. Like it doesn't hurt to say, hey, you know, I realize that you know do DJ, you know, and stuff like that. Well, I'm a hip hop artist. Is there some way that we can connect, talk later, like something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like it's,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like you're a business. Your brand is your business, whether if it's your rap name or you actually have a brand. And the music that you want to bring is your resume. So you can't just drop your resume off or drop your application off like, all right, I'm gonna get hired once they heard it. No, that's not how that shit works. I mean,
Yeah.
like even try that shit at Popeyes where you just drop an application off and walk away. Like you think it's really gonna work? Like you gonna get hired? No. Like you really have to treat it like a business. Like you have to come at it a certain way. You have to come at it in a business format. Like you have to introduce yourself. It's so many key factors that a lot of young artists are missing because all they do is drop it off and walk away.
Oh, I get that so many times where they just like drop a link, a YouTube link in my inbox, but won't even introduce themselves, tell me who they are, not even tell me what to do with the link. They just drop a link. I'm like, who
I'll
are you?
ask them
Where
what
you
you want me to do
from?
with it.
I'm like, at least tell me your name. At least tell me your artist name, where you from, you know, something. You know,
Right.
don't tell me, give me
Yeah,
your whole
like,
life story. But just, hey, I'm L.Dot from Clean. I'm some years old. This is my new song. Can you check it out for me? Boom. I'm like, yeah. How you doing? I'll check it out. If I don't
I
know
go
your
a
name,
whole
I can't
different
check it
direction. Like I
out.
go a whole different direction with them because I get that same energy from them. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do with this? And you know, they were like, well, can you just listen and play it? I'm like, well, you do realize I'm an artist myself, right? So and they were like, well, you know, then you'll understand how the plays go. I'm like, okay, I do understand that. And then I'll flip it right on them. And they'll either get mad or they'll get understanding. But
Yeah.
at that point, that's not my problem. My problem is you have to understand that there's artists out there doing the same exact thing that you're doing, and they're probably doing it to you too. Don't think that it's going to work for everybody else because you'll run into that one like me that's going to say, no, I'm not going to listen to it.
Yeah.
But you lost somebody that's potential, period.
Yeah, that's what it is. And oh, EPKs, man. They don't got that. Don't even know what that is sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine.
Or bios.
Yeah.
Artists is just like, oh, I don't have a bio. I'm like, oh.
It's and I'll be honest. I'll be honest to tell them, like, if they're not starting, they better start now or start it yesterday. Like,
Yeah, I told him, I'm like,
okay,
hey, I'll help you out. If you need me to write a bio, I'll write it for you. I will help you out. I want to make sure that you got your best foot forward. Now, when I first started my station, I used to ask for bios, but I stopped all because this one bio I got where this guy was like, you already know who it is. I'm going to make it big. And that was it. And I was just like, but I don't know who you are. And then I'm thinking in my head, even if I did, the bio wasn't for me. The bio was for I used to put bio in my description, so I won't have to ask the same simple questions: where you from, how you get started.
right.
I can ask the main questions like, let's talk about your new music you dropped. Just the main questions people want to hear. People get tired when you ask the same old where you get started, where you from.
Yeah, let's get to
That was
meet
his bio. You already know who it is. So I was like, who is it? So since then, I was like, I'm not even gonna ask for no more bios. Forget it.
Right.
Forget it. We're gonna start from the basics. Where you from? How you get started? Like we're gonna start from the basics.
See, that's what makes it hard. And my thing is, and what upsets me with the industry as a whole, like we don't take accountable for none of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, that would have hurt my soul if I'd have got that in the email. Like, what? Like, who are you?
The bio was the bio is literally 3 sentences long.
Right. You know what I mean?
You know who
Like,
it is. He said something about I'm gonna make it big, and you gonna know you still gonna know me or something like that. It was just 3 sentences long. I didn't know his age. I didn't know his artist name, and I never found out where he was from. So I was like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it is if you got one of those type of emails, I know for certain that email went out to 78 different ones, and then there was probably like,
and I also realized too that no one had really asked artists for bios until I started doing it. A lot of artists are like, oh, we don't get asked for them. I'm like, when you send your song out, you never send out like an EPK. They're like, oh, what's an EPK? Then I have to explain to them what's the EPK. I'm like, your link tree can be used as an EPK. They're like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So what happens when you send your song to a DJ and they like it and they want to tag you in it? Because you can get paid if another DJ plays your song in a club and they tag you in it. Oh, I can? Yes, but they can't find you to tag you in it if they don't know your social media because you didn't send it out with your EPK. Oh, really? Yes, really.
it's a lot like that.
And then they can hit you up and be like, hey, DJ so-and-so sent me your song. I want to know, do you have more songs I can listen to? And boom, you just linked up with another DJ. But they don't think that way.
Man, I had an artist. He was very dope too. Like, and I was like, all right, I work with this cat, and he was like, well, I charge. I said, okay, cool, I respect that. I said, shoot me your EPK link, and he was like, I don't know what that is. I said, are you charging me?
Exactly. You charging it, they got an EPK.
Got me screwed, dog. I said, you have a good one. I left it alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of artists who's been like doing music for a minute don't have their BMI ASCAP. They don't know about EPKs or DJ packs too. They're like, why does a DJ need my instrumental? So if they want to mix it with another song,
song to bring it in.
Why do I have to have a clean? Why do I have to have a clean version so FM can play it? Oh, I didn't know that. Yes.
Or just
like no, I should next time. I feel like I should just be like, you know what? You need a clean version just because I want it. Just because I want it. Just to be like, just to see what they. Just because I'm asking for it. Just to see what they say.
You the one to still get it. You the one to still get it some way, some shape or form.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I don't get it. So I just try to hold myself accountable for whenever that type of stuff. Like I let them know, like, hey, you really might want to get it edited if you want it on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, and one of the things that killed me, and I see it now, is like their artwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll forget to have like the parental advisory, like it's just thrown together, and I'm just like, how did we let it get this far? You know, like
Well, it's all about investment, and not only that too. Like I said, artists are just scared to talk to people because I know artists. They're like, I get it. You might talk about you have thousands of bands in your song, but we know you don't. You ain't balling like that. So if you know you ain't got it and you need a professional photo shoot, hit up the photographers and be like, hey, this is my budget. Can you work with me? Can we work something out? And 9 times out of 10, they will if you talk to them nice. You just gotta know how to talk to people. You get you some headshots done because I'm tired of making flyers with the seatbelt in the picture, or they doing the smoke covering their face. I'm like, you the headliner and smoke is covering your face. They can't see you. They can't tell you the headliner. Like,
it's a lot of this, and this is speaking from actual experience, like with dealing with bar life. I've actually came into a lot of great people as far as like, to help me expand my brand and stuff like that. And just actually having a conversation with them, like it's a lot of different networks that I've gotten with them. So it's
yeah,
just been like, I mean, so I try to tell people, they like, how you doing? I just talk to them. Like
simple
that's it.
conversation. I think that's how we linked up.
Yeah, I just talked. That was it.
Just a
Like,
simple conversation. Just hey, oh,
he's
you
like,
do
hey, he's like,
music? I
jump on
have
the
a
radio station. I
station.
said, all right. I jumped in. I was listening, and he was like, said something. I said, okay.
Exactly. Well, Mr. L.Dot, before we let you go, what's next for you? I know you
So
said you're gonna work on music videos when this quarantine open up.
yes, I'm working on music videos, of course. Hopefully, well, talking to my daughter, the video came out for July 1st. I did that. We actually had a break in Colleen where we was able to come out, so we got it done like June, and then I released it in July. Um, but my next move is I'm on this transition phase for when I originally started. I started as a battle rapper.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going into this whole to where I'm creating my own new genre. I don't want to put the name out yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody stealing it. So I'm still doing my copyrights for the genre name and all that stuff.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
doing
So
big. Okay.
yeah, I'm really trying to create my own sound and stuff like that.
Would you like to once you get that copyrighted? Are you looking to add artists to your genre, or you just want it to be?
I'm really thinking about it. I mean, I always keep a open ear for, you know what I'm saying, like people to be like, all right, I can consider them in that genre. You know what I mean? Because it's the way that the genre is, it's not just gonna be catered to rap.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like bridging a whole gap, like honestly. So that's what the whole genre is gonna pretty much gear towards. Um, but yeah, I'm looking into that, but I want to get the business portion done of it first. But that's in the future. Right now in the future, I can honestly come out and say I started singing. So I do have a couple of songs to where I'm.
Ooh, can I put you on the spot? You want to sing something?
No, I'm not that like singing, but
Okay. Okay.
I'm actually starting to write more in R&B form. So
Okay.
it's like songs like "Do It Tonight," "Text Me," which was with
Oh,
Dot.
any of these R&B songs on your new project?
Uh-uh.
No,
I
not
didn't
yet.
put it. I didn't. Those are not out yet because
Okay.
I want to introduce them within the new year because it's a lot of the genres that I'm bringing into it is going to introduce the new genre.
Yeah.
Whole plan of it. So I'm tapping into R&B. I'm tapping into jazz, country, EDM. Like I'm pretty much going everywhere. So that's the whole vision for next year. Um, but other than that, it's just expanding more. I'm just gonna stay hungry like I always be. You know, that's just my whole goal. Just stay hungry.
Let people know where they can check you and your music out. Give us all your social media links.
Um, Social media. So Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. You can all find it on @TheRealL.Dot. Or if you Google it, it'll put everything on there. So TheRealL.Dot. REALLDOT. If you get lost or you just need to get further directions on to get into my social media or whatever, 301-909 L.Dot is a personal line for anybody that wants to reach out. And for all my music platforms, you find me on Apple Music, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music, Pandora, which is L.Dot Texas, Django Music. Like it's a lot of different platforms. So if you just reach out, you know what I mean? Like I'll give you the link, or I try to keep it human. I don't try to be like, all extra with it. I try
Yeah.
to stay the same person. I'm just me. That's why it's L.Dot. I'm just you and me. That's it. So.
Well, thank you, Mr. L.Dot, dropping by U3 again. I don't know, this is the first. I think this is our first interview.
This
right?
is our first interview.
This is our first interview,
we did like a snap interview, and we was like, we'll eventually get an interview. So
yeah, this is our first full interview. But people know the name, they know your music.
Thank you.
All my listeners, they know who you are. I'm definitely going to check out your new project, and we're going to drop the link to it in the description so y'all can check it out too. Y'all don't want to miss that. Back to black. You do not want to miss it.
It's already out now. So
yes, it's out now, so you can check it out.
Back to Black by L.Dot. Just type it. It's there.
It's there. You heard it straight
from start. You got to start from track 1. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go down.
Start from track 1 because you'll miss everything.
Exactly. This is your girl, DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and we are signing out.